This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In the program News Analysis, now we bring you a discussion on intelligence sharing for internal security. The participants are Anil Kamboj, former IGBSF, and Anil Anand, Bureau Chief, Delhi Excellior.
Any fight against terrorism, insurgency, or even the internal security challenges would be incomplete without a strong and robust intelligence network, feedback, or its analysis. Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, while speaking at the 11th meeting of Interstate Council, very rightly pointed out to this aspect. He emphasized the need to improve intelligence and improving the system for its exchanges between different stakeholders. His particular reference was to the states, and he hit the nail when he pinpointed a new dictum when he said the states should remain alert and updated. I think alert and updated are the keywords in intelligence gathering or in disseminating that information to those who really need it to fight back. As a man of operations, you have seen many operations, Mr. Kamboj. How do you feel this dictum of alert and updated in the context of intelligence, improving intelligence network is important?
The present scenario of the country in which there is a threat from outside. And threat, it's not only on the bordering states, threat is anywhere in India. So here all the states have to remain very alert. And they have to coordinate and share all the intelligence which they get. And in the same manner, the center has also to share the intelligence with the state authorities. And to my mind, whatever Prime Minister Mr. Modi said yesterday is very valid for the states at this moment.
He went further on this. Center is always operating in one way or the other because center has armed forces, center has the paramilitary forces and various intelligence agencies. Apart from the union government, the states cannot ignore the developments taking place not inside the country but globally. Because terrorism has become a global phenomenon now. Whatever development takes in any other part of the world, maybe tomorrow it has a ramification on our internal security also. You very rightly pointed out that the states have to be alert, and that is where the better coordination between the center and the states, which Prime Minister Modi talked about, is very, very important.
It's not only the coordination between center and the state, it's the coordination between all the agencies. Our agencies which are working within the country and the gathering information from outside also, not only by human intelligence but also by the technology which is available these days, not only in India but all over. So having a good coordination with all those peace-loving countries is very important, and sharing the information in case if we have any information for them, we should pass on, and the information which is available around the globe, we should be able to get it. And this information which is gathered at the central agency, it has to be passed to the state governments or the state authorities. And state authorities have also to remain alert. They should not depend on any information which is passed by the center, but they should also gather the information globally. They should also have a good coordination with the center. It's not that every state starts its own business trying to coordinate with other outside agencies, that means globally. But they should coordinate with the center. And the center should be responsible for gathering the intelligence or gathering the information which is required to take any action within the country.
You very rightly pointed out, in the context of our country, there's a very thin line between external security threats and internal security threats. I'm mentioning this because we live in a very aggressive neighborhood. My reference is to Pakistan, which of course is a nursery of terrorism. He has been thrusting a proxy war on us over the decades, which officers like you have been fighting on the front. So that is why there's a very thin line between what the external threat and internal threat within the country on this aspect. So that is why you very rightly talked about a mechanism for coordination of intelligence gathering and analysis. In this context, the concept of NetGrid came, which is also known as National Intelligence Grid. Primarily the function of this body, which was created in 2012, and then due to circumstances and developments and reasons, it slowed down. The current government again has activated this concept of NetGrid, and it's working on a breakneck speed to give it a real practical shape. This is known to be a robust intelligence gathering mechanism. Do you feel that such a mechanism would prove very handy and would give the much needed support to the operational forces?
Yes, I very much agree with that, and this is very much required for the forces who are actually operating on the ground. Here actually what happens, all the intelligence agencies which are available in the country, they coordinate and they sit together where they correlate and they analyze all the intelligence information which is available with different agencies. For example, which is available with the IB or available with the BSF intelligence agency, now with the CRPF, SSB have their own. they all sit together. The state intelligence, of course, it's very important. They sit together, analyze as to what is the real threat and form a real ground reality and pass on to the agency which is required to take, or the counter action required to be taken, and that is passed on to that. Here there is a coordination among all these agencies, and the passing on the information is very fast. And in case if this carries on in a positive manner by everyone, so this is going to prove to be a very good thing for all the security forces and for the people who are actually working on the ground.
NatGrid is also going to be an ambitious counter-terrorism program, the other part of this counter-terrorism program. No counter-terrorism program in today's world would be complete without use of technology, and the latest one. It is believed that latest technologies would be available to NatGrid also, and these technologies should be available to other arms of intelligence gathering system also. How important is the technology in today's world, particularly for intelligence gathering?
Human intelligence is a separate thing. Human intelligence may not be getting the futuristic intelligence, whereas in the technology intelligence which you gather from technology which is available, you get all the information. In case if you want to track somebody, if you want to track a movement, a suspicious movement which is taking place, this technology part plays a very important thing. For example, you can track through satellite. We have got NTRO with us who are doing this. The intercepts are there. In case if somebody is passing it through other sources which is not available with the human intelligence, so that can be tracked and that can be analyzed. Correlated with the human intelligence, we can get a real-time intelligence or real-time information which is required to be taken against the terrorist threat or any other threat to the country.
Important projects like NatGrid have got delayed because of certain political elements also, certain difference in perception between, say, the ruling party and the opposition party. And this factor was also very rightly picked up by Prime Minister during his address. And he pointedly told the chief ministers and representatives of the state governments to keep politics aside when we discuss issues related to national security or the issues like NatGrid, upgrading the armed forces. So how important is it to have a national consensus on security related issues?
We have to think for the nation first. We have to forget about any politics. We have to forget any party politics in that. In this national grid, I would like to add one more thing. So we should not forget about our coastal security.
That is a significant.
Very long coastline, about 7,500 kilometers.
Yeah.
We should not forget about that. For that, we have a National Maritime Awareness Grid also. And that it coordinates with the Coastal Guard, with the Coastal Police which is there, and with the Navy. And of course, there are two different ministries, Ministries of Fishery and Ministry of Shipping are also involved in it. All the coordination is done by them. And by getting all that information, again that analysis is done, and we should not neglect our coastal area.
These are very key areas. Most of the infiltrations, like we see what happened in Mumbai or in Gujarat, or terrorists oftenly infiltrating from coastline, it has become quite a common feature now. So in that context, you are right to say that coastal areas cannot be ignored. Not that we will have to ignore our land borders. There is already a greater surveillance on land borders, on the frontiers. But yes, coastal orders also. Government of India has laid a great focus on the coastal security. Over the years, earlier on these areas were neglected. Coastal areas were, they were considered as safer rather than the land borders with Pakistan or with China. But now there is a great emphasis on coastal security, as you very rightly pointed out. Another thing in today's world in fighting against terrorism or any other external enemy is the time frame. So you need to strengthen the rapid response capabilities also. So that would also entail quick intelligence gathering and quick dissemination, and then quickly launching the operations. As an operations man, how do you view this phenomena of rapid response capabilities and its importance in today's security world?
It's very important. In case if we get an information late, and by the time the action by our counterpart or by the terrorist has already been taken place, so we are always lagging behind. Previously, when the technology intelligence was not available with this, used to happen. But now with the latest technology available, we are preventing all this, and we should always go ahead and anticipate in case if there is any threat to our security forces or to our country. We should always be one step ahead and think ahead as to what would be the next step taken. And this can only be done in case any information is passed to the agency which has to take action very much in time.
In this era of technology is not only available to the security forces or the governments. The technology is also available to perpetrators of insurgency and terrorism also. So that brings in the importance of cybercrime also. Cybercrime has two aspects. Not only that cybercrime is related to local crime, but as we have always seen, and as an expert you must have also observed, that the terrorist networks all over the world, they are increasingly using technology, and cyber is one of the key areas. So how does make the cybercrime importance, bring in more importance on developing cybercrime network for the purpose of fighting insurgency and militancy?
In this I would like to add, the cybercrime is a very fast means. The social media is very fast means available with these undergrounds or with the terrorists. They can brainwash the youngsters, anyone, through their network. And this been happening everywhere. It's being played by IS, and it played a very big role in motivating those youths in Australia, you have seen, in Europe, and we have seen in Kashmir, in which through the cyber technology or through this social media, the things moved like anything, like a lightning they moved from one corner of Kashmir to another corner of Kashmir.
With one click you can reach a huge number of people.
You can reach thousands of people who are on that net. You can reach them within just a click of a button. So this we have to really counter. To counter that, we have to keep this thing in mind and train our people against such crimes. And this training is taking place, and people are becoming aware. It's not only against terrorism, it's against the other crimes also, hacking your network. So we have to be careful. All those government agencies, banks, not only that, banks have to be very much aware of it, and the people are being trained on it as to how to counter it. For this, we have to forget everything. The first is the nation, and in case nation is there first, we have to involve the service people I mean to say, who are providing the services for that particular network. So they have also to be involved, they have also to remain alert, and they have also to take the countermeasures, and they have to keep a proper track on in case anything is flowing.
The cybercrime has become a great challenge. The figures amply point out. In 2014, there was 136% increase in cybercrime threats and attacks against Government of India organizations, and 126% increase in attacks on financial services organizations. So it shows the amount of challenge the cyber crime poses. And yes, this is one of the key areas of focus of the Government of India. A national cyber security policy is already being strengthened now. Various steps are being taken to plug the loopholes, to adopt new technologies, because we have great risk on this front from our external enemies also. We have seen reports, the Chinese hacking of armed forces websites, the Pakis hacking our security forces websites, are the defense ministries, are the home ministries websites. So this really is an area of concern, and very rightly the government has focused on these areas. And then again, the coordination would be the key word again, be it the cybercrime or the NetGrid. That is why the Prime Minister laid thrust on these areas. And he very rightly pointed out that no internal security network would be strengthened unless and until centers and states focus on intelligence sharing, gathering and sharing. From where we started, we are coming back again to intelligence gathering and sharing. Hopefully the states take this Prime Minister's message very seriously. Centre has already launched many schemes at the Home Ministry's level, modernize the police forces, to update the intelligence networks, and the respective agencies have done quite a work on that. So, do you feel the states need to do something separately, or they can ask Centre for more help? Could be the areas where Centre can pitch in more.
Actually, the states can themselves also gather a lot of intelligence. They can work along with the Centre, and Centre is there to pass on all the intelligence or pass on all the information which is required for the states. And in this, states have to coordinate and have to cooperate with the Centre in sharing all the intelligence information which is required to be taken action against.
We hope that Prime Minister's advice has a salutary effects on the states as well as the other stakeholders, and a real coordinated plan of intelligence gathering and dissemination comes into place immediately without any delay, so that we can meet the challenges, very serious challenges which you are facing. Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on intelligence sharing for internal security. The participants were Anil Kamboj, former IGBSF, and Anil Anand, Bureau Chief, Daily Excellier. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio.